During the year 1930, there were 1,487 people who lived in Hartwick, New York. On August 3rd, 1934, two brothers and four sisters suffered tragedy when the siblings were forced apart by the Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Children after they were alerted about the children being left home while their parents went to work. We are going to learn about one of the children and his search for his wayward loved ones. My name is Jeff, aka GCurse. Welcome to another installment of Black Site Files from Unsolved Mysteries. In this installment, we will be hearing about the case of Jackie Harrington. This case first aired on the February 1st, 1989 episode of Unsolved Mysteries. My family is very small. In fact, where I live, I have absolutely no family left because everyone has died. I can relate what it is like to go from having a family to literally being by myself. I always claim that my heart is frozen over, but there are cases like this that seems to elicit an emotion from me when I watch this video. Up next, it is the case information. Okay, time for the case information. The case name was Jackie Harrington. The subject's full name was Jackie Harrington. Jackie could have been a possible nickname. The date of birth was August 3rd. However, the exact year is unknown. It could have possibly been between 1928 to 1930, based on the picture that you see up here. Let's see here. The age as the televised airing, the exact age is unknown. It could have possibly been between 59 to 61 years of age. Her age as of recording Black Site Files from Unsolved Mysteries, it's unknown. It could have possibly been between 95 to 97 years of age. The location was Hartwick, New York. The case classification is Lost Loves. The subject, or Jackie Harrington, she was missing since August 3rd, 1934. Her age when she went missing was possibly between the age of 4 to 6 years of age. Is this case available on YouTube? Yes, you can actually find this case on Season 1, Episode 16. The original televised episode air date was February 1st, 1989, and the case status has actually been solved. The family has been reunited. After these upcoming commercials, I will be back with the case reading.
This engine is weaving its way through the mountains of Oregon and pulling the incredible weight of 13 cars with a strap woven from Flexten tire cord, a Goodyear exclusive. Tire cord is the main reinforcing agent in a tire. Flexten tire cord is made from a man-made aramid fiber that is pound for pound stronger than steel. Tensile strength is only one of the many performance properties in a tire, but it's one of the most important. Flexten, the tire cord of the future, from Goodyear.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are now going to be starting the case reading. If you are new to this series that I like to produce, basically, this is where I go to the Unsolved Mysteries wiki, and I will look up the case that this episode, or this video, whatever you would like to call it, is based around. And, as you know, it is about Jackie Harrington. So let's do this. Okay, there we go. So let's pull up this Season 1, Episode 16, Jackie Harrington. Okay, and then let's just do this. There we go. As you know, I will possibly stop recording now and then to get something to drink because, it does dry your throat out reading some of these longer cases. Okay, so the case was named Jackie Harrington. Real name was Jackie Harrington. The case was Lost Sister. Location was Hartwick, which is in New York, and the date was August 3rd, 1934. Okay, time for the case details. 62-year-old Bill Wilson Bill Puritan, formerly Harrington, is a retired businessman from New Hampshire who is searching for his long lost sister Jackie. In 1934, the Harrington family lived in Hartwick, New York, where they were struggling to survive the Great Depression. 6 of the Harrington children stayed at home alone during the day while their parents were at work. On August 3rd, 1934, the Harrington children had a birthday party for Bill and his younger sister, Jackie. That afternoon, however, their lives were changed forever. Neighbors had felt that the 4 younger children were being neglected. They reported the Harringtons to the Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Children. The social workers arrived while the parents were working and the birthday party was in progress. So basically, they picked the worst fucking time to actually, separate these siblings. They could have waited they could have waited at least a day later or whatever, but no, happy birthday. We're going to take you away from your family. What kind of fucking logic is that? After the celebration was finished, the social workers took the 4 youngest children away, while the 2 oldest children were left behind. Bill, then 8, was the oldest of the 4. The social workers told him that he was going on a trip. He was excited until he realized that he would not be returning home. That's the way it always is. They're going to lie and try to make it seem more desirable than what it actually is. If I ran this country, and I always preface it with that, if I ran this country, if the time came that child protective services had to be brought in, the standing order would always be you do not split up the siblings. It doesn't matter if you have 1 sibling or 5 others. You should keep them all together. They are a family. To me, I think that it does more harm to the siblings by breaking them up than actually letting them stay together and trying to find a house that can take care of them. Or a family, I guess you could really say. He, Jackie, and 2 other siblings were put up for adoption. All 4 were placed with different families in New York. Bill lived with his adopted family until his teenage years, in which he then joined the military and went off to serve in the Second World War. When World War II ended, Bill began searching for his siblings and his parents. He made no luck until 1976 when he wrote to the records clerk in Hartwick, New York. Just as the clerk was replying to Bill's letter, a visitor arrived and gave the clerk an address for Bill's older sister, Wanda. She gave him a cautious reply telling him to call her if he wanted more information about the family. The 2 were reunited soon after. Within a year, Bill was able to track down all of his siblings except 2, Jackie and Ed. Also, in 1977, he was able to locate his mother in California, but sadly she passed away before he was able to reunite with her. Oh, that sucks. He does all the searching and, he finds his mom and she passes away before they could even be reunited. That's sad. He also learned that his father died in 1955. In 1980, a New York Children's Aid Society researcher was able to locate a phone number for Bill's brother Ed, now named Ed Orvis. On Christmas Eve, the 2 siblings talked to each other on the phone for the first time in over 40 years. By the fall of 1988, Bill was able to locate and reunite with all of his siblings except for Jackie. Bill and his siblings are still searching for Jackie. You know, I gotta be honest. To me, the fact that that Bill was able to reunite with his brother on Christmas Eve, that makes it really kind of special in my eyes. You know, and you know, like I said, it kind of, you know, makes you feel a little bit good. The family has a few clues that may lead them to Jackie. Sorry, she was adopted by the Frank breeding family. That I'm sorry, but that name, the Frank breeding family. Okay, that's a weird name to have as a surname, but okay. Of New York City. They moved to Spokane, Washington in 1936. She graduated from Central Valley High School in Verdale, Washington around 1943. She trained as a nurse at Sacred Heart Hospital in 1944. In November 1946, she married Ed Roper. In 1949, she divorced him and moved to either Utah or Montana. Wow, she actually had a very active life, it sounds like. Wow. Extra notes. This segment was featured as part of the February 1st, 1989 episode of Unsolved Mysteries. Results solved. Several tips came in from the broadcast, most from people who claim to have known or gone to school with Jackie in the 1940s and 1950s. Some claimed that she had married and adopted 2 children and that one had since died. However, the tipsters did not know of Jackie's present whereabouts. A local historian, Anita Harrison, learned about Bill's search through the Unsolved Mysteries broadcast and tried to help in his search. Then, surprisingly, in September 1997, Jackie Puritan herself came to Anita. A family that Jackie was visiting in Hartwick knew about Bill's search through Unsolved Mysteries and knew that Anita had been looking for Jackie. The family sent Jackie to her. Anita got in contact with Bill again, and within a few days, Jackie and her husband were reunited with Bill and his wife. In 2000, she was reunited with the rest of her long-lost siblings, Betty, Mary, Wanda, Shirley, and Ed. Sadly, Bill passed away in 2008. He was 82. Wanda passed away in 2016 at the age of 95. Wow. And we really don't have much here. I mean, like, literally, you know, for such a touching story, they really don't have that much in the way of links. I'm kind of shocked about that. But let's go and check his obituary. Let's see what we have here. If it loads. Okay, there it goes. William H. Bill Puritan. I keep saying Puritan. See here. And okay, I guess I can read this. William Bill H. Purinton. I'll just say that he was 82 years of age, and he apparently wait a minute. This must be like an address or something here. 82 of 253 Green Gate Lane, died Thursday, September 25th, 2008 at the Spartanburg Regional Medical Center. Born August 23rd, 1926 in Hartwick, New York. He was the son of the late Norman Wilson and Diana Gusman Purinton, and the husband of the late Patricia Collette. That name. I'm just going to refer to it as that name. He was first employed in management with plastic manufacturing, and in Spartanburg, he was retired from the J.M. Smith Corporation as building supervisor. Oh, that's cool. Congratulations, dude. He was a member of the St. Margaret's Episcopal Church and was a U.S. Army veteran, which I do say thank you for serving. He served as military police in Manila, Philippines. I'm wondering if he was there during Marcos' time. I'm not sure exactly what years that was, but there was a guy named Ferdinand Marcos, I think it was. But anyway, let's see here. Survivors include three sons: Douglas Norman, or Douglas. Wait, hold on. Oh, these. I'm not sure if this is like a full name or Douglas Norman Puritan and his wife. Oh, Clarice. Okay, I get it now. Gary Wilson and his wife Connie, Olive Spartanburg, and Bradley Robert and his wife Deborah of 6 Mile, a daughter. Apparently he has this. Okay, I'm trying to understand this. It's just it's a little bit jumbled. A daughter, Carolyn P. Schumacher, and her husband Keith of Ackworth, Georgia. Three sisters. Okay. Wanda Vale of North Bend, Oregon. Virginia Downing of St. Helens, Oregon, and Shirley Sanford of Harrisburg, North Carolina. A brother, Edwin Orvis of Onowingo, Minnesota, I think, or I can't recall which one MD is. I'm sorry. And 7 grandchildren. He was predeceased by a daughter, Gail Fern, and a son, Stephen Howard. A memorial service will be held 11 a.m. Saturday, September 27th, 2008, at Floyd Greenlawn Chapel, conducted by Reverend T. Lee Bryant. The family will receive friends following the service at the chapel. In lieu of flowers, memorials can be made to Mobile Meal Service, P.O. Drawer 461, Spartanburg, South Carolina, 29304. And then it has the online register. He had, sounds like he had actually had a large family besides, his brothers and sisters. It sounded like he had a lot of children and grandchildren and all that. But it's sad that, he passed away, but the guy did lead. It sounds he led a very full life. It's the one thing that's really sad is that his parents were both, basically passed away. He barely got in, barely was able to talk to his mom before she passed away. And his father passed away in 1955. So all he really had left was his siblings. But that's the way it is sometimes. Sometimes things just do not work out. But thankfully he did find his family. So that's what really matters the most. When I return, ladies and gentlemen, it will be with my final thoughts. So stay tuned and I'll be right back.
What a beautiful way to spend a vacation. This is paradise.
Some of the most romantic hideaways in all the world are only hours away on a Boeing jetliner. Of course, some people have everything right in their own backyard. But if you don't, and you could use a little romance in your life, get hold of your travel agent and get on a Boeing jetliner. The whole world out there waiting for you.
Okay, time for the final thoughts, ladies and gentlemen. And thankfully, this case, although very sad, it did end up with a happy ending. Bill did find his siblings, so that's ultimately what matters. Sadly, his parents, are, basically, were deceased by the time he really got to them. The mother, he didn't even get a chance to reunite with her before she passed away, and his father passed away, in 1955. But ultimately what matters is this case is closed. The case is closed. How many cases have we heard about that have never been closed? This is one of those ones that do get closed. So that's what I can really say that I'm happy the most about. I just kind of disagree with the fact that they broke these siblings up on the birthday, on that birthday. That just really sucks. That really sucks. And I'll be honest, I'm the type of person that remembers a lot of stuff. And if I was forced to be separated from my brothers and sisters, if I had any, and it was on my birthday, oh my God, that would be like a chip on my shoulder, you know. That would drive me nuts. And every time I'd have that birthday, I would be thinking about, you know, the only thing that would really be in my head is the fact that on my birthday, I was separated from my brothers and sisters. It really does suck. However, with one case down, we have thousands of more to cover, ladies and gentlemen. In the next installment of Black Site Files from Unsolved Mysteries, I'm just going to leave it in. Anyway, on the next installment, I will be reading to everybody the case of Angelo Desideri. Basically, it sounds like, from what I can remember, Angelo was a successful business owner. I think he had multiple businesses, and one day when he was about to have lunch, he ended up disappearing. Nobody knew at the time what ended up happening to Angelo, and there was a search for him. And here, like always, I have the case promo, so let's get on with it, shall we? Well, let's leave that up. Here it is.
In Phoenix, Arizona, a 58-year-old businessman named Angelo Desideri vanished from his home. 400 miles away, his car was found ablaze. No trace of Angelo Desideri has ever been found.
Okay, so that was the case, you know, that I'll be covering next time. The case is Angelo Desideri. And I guess there's not much really else I can say about that right now.
In 1976 hill climb tests, a Ford Pinto Pony beat a Toyota Corolla and a Datsun B210.
That same kind of excellent performance is built into the 77 Ford Pinto.
With his new optional glass hatchback, exciting new front-end styling, and his new flip-up removable roof option.
America's best-selling small car last year is an even better idea for 77.
When America needs a better idea, Ford puts it on wheels.
I want to say thank you to everybody who has taken the time to watch this installment of Black Site Files from Unsolved Mysteries. I decided that I was going to try some new, or I don't want to say new because I do it with my other videos, but I wanted to change up the format a little bit. I wanted to add like some more like active backgrounds that you can see here and everything. So yeah, so I hope that you enjoyed these little, you know, enhancements that I did. And you know, and I also did a video, you know, like in the background when I was doing the case information, just to give you a little bit more of a rough idea, you know. But that is it, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you have enjoyed this installment of Black Site Files from Unsolved Mysteries. As always, if you like what you watch, feel free to click that subscribe button. If you're watching on YouTube, if you're watching on Facebook, feel free to click that follow button. And I will see you next time. My name is Jeff, aka GCurse. Wishing you all a great day. And stay safe, everybody. Peace out.
The size reductions of some 77 cars are making news. Time says an amazing shrinking act. Newsweek calls it the big scale down. Well, the size changes are significant. For example, the Ford LTD now has a longer wheelbase and is longer and wider than Chevrolet Caprice or Impala. In fact, the Ford LTD is now about the same size as the Cadillac DeVille. And LTD has more trunk space, is a little wider, even has more hip and shoulder room than the Cadillac, and of course Chevrolet. Yet LTD is priced not like the Cadillac, but comparably equipped. The Ford LTD is sticker priced like a downsized Chevrolet. So this year, when you pay a full-size price, make sure you get a full-size value, like Ford LTD. It has the full size of a Cadillac, yet it's priced like a downsized Chevrolet. When America needs a better idea, Ford puts it on wheels.